Indian Contract Act 1872. This is the first act which you are going to study in your business law, or it is also known as mercantile law. Mercantile law or business law means any law, legal act applicable regarding business dealing, business transaction. So one of the important act is Indian Contract Act, framed in 1872. Now, you must understand certain terms. Okay, agreement. So what is agreement? Now here you don't have to remember a section. If you can remember, it is good. But if you can't, then it's okay. But certain topic, certain question in which you have to remember section, I'll mention. If you will be able to remember it, then it is good. Now agreement. Every promise and every set of promises forming consideration for each other is agreement. Agreement means offer and acceptance. To agree on the same thing in the same sense is called agreement. Suppose I want to sell my mobile at 5,000. I will offer you, okay, would you like to purchase this mobile at 5,000? Then you will accept it. Yes, I want to purchase it at 5,000. So we both are agreeing about the same thing in the same sense. I am talking about this mobile and price is also specified. And you are also understanding that I am offering this mobile and price is as I discussed. So we are agreeing on the same thing in the same sense. That is called agreement, to agree upon something. That means consensus ad idem. That is a Latin word. Means meeting of minds or identity of minds, or receiving the same thing in the same sense at the same time. So that is agreement. So agreement means offer plus acceptance. Agreement may or may not create legal obligation. You are agreeing, that does not mean that it is legal, it is legally enforceable. Suppose I am offering you to sell my mobile. You are also agreeing that you are purchasing mobile. But unless and until we will enter into a contract, it will not become legally applicable. It is not legally binding. So sometimes agreement may create social obligation also. Every agreement need not to be contract. All agreements are not contract, but all contracts are agreement. Now how? Contract means agreement plus its legal enforceability. Any agreement which is legally enforceable, then it will become agreement. Suppose I offered you a mobile for sale. You have made payment. Now I am legally binding to sell it to you. Now it is legally enforceable. Now I cannot deny, okay, I was just playing with you. I don't want to sell mobile. So either you have to give me back my money or you have to give me mobile. So agreement plus its legal enforceability will constitute a contract. So you can say all agreements are not contract, but all contracts are agreement. So according to section 2 subsection H of Indian Contract Act 1872, a contract is an agreement enforceable by law. Enforceable means which is legally binding. You can force upon its implementation. That is called enforceability. Then Types of contract. There are different types of contract on the basis of legal effect, on the basis of performance, on the basis of formation. So on the basis of formation or on the basis of creation, you can say express contract, implied contract, and quasi contract. Express contract, which is expressly in writing or in the words, means I have expressed myself clearly by word or by writing. Implied contract, which will not be offered specifically, but it is implied. Like if I will board into train to travel to Mumbai, then it is but obvious that I have to purchase ticket. I cannot say anybody did not offer me that I should buy ticket. Not necessary. It is compulsory. It is implied that if you are traveling, then you have to pay the fare. You have to buy a ticket. Then quasi contract, or you can say incomplete contract. It has been started but not completed till the date of performance. Then on the basis of performance, unilateral contract, one way, means one party has performed his promise, now other party has to. Like you have paid me the fees, now it's up to me. I have to obligate my promise that I have to teach you. You have completed your part of promise. Bilateral, two-way contract. When I am giving you money, then you must give me something in return. Two-way contract. Then executed contract. When both the parties have performed their respective obligation. Promises have been performed. બંને બાજુથી complete થઈ ગયું. It is now legally binding. Executory. When both parties have to still perform their promise. Just we have entered into contract. Like I want to sell my mobile. You want to purchase it. We have done an agreement. Okay? I will sell it to so and so date in the some future time. Okay? For example, on 1st September, you have made me payment. And I have given you in writing. So now it is executory. I have to give you mobile. And it may happen that you will make payment on a later date. You may have made payment through post-dated check. So both the parties still pending the performance. Both the parties have to honor their obligation. So that is called executory contract. Then on the basis of enforceability, on the basis of legal effect, valid contract which satisfies all conditions of the law. It is valid. So whatever contract we are going to study, all must be valid contract. Manya kahiye na apne Gujarati ma. It is valid. Then void contract, a contract which was valid when entered, but due to subsequent event or due to some impossibility of performance, now it cannot be performed. I promise to pay rupees 5,000 against your mobile, but before you hand it over to me, it was damaged, it was stolen, you lost it. So now the object is not there. Then how you will give me mobile? It is out of your hand. It is called impossibility of performance. આવશે આગળ detail. So that is void contract. Void contract એટલે cancel, રદ બાતલ. Certain contracts are such which are void ab initio. Void ab initio is a Latin word. Means invalid from the very beginning. Cancelled from the very beginning. થઈ જ ના શકે. કરો તો બી ના ચાલે. Like agreement with any minor. બરાબર. કોઈ minor જોડે તમે કોઈ બી agreement કર્યું હોય તો એ ના ચાલે. Because according to law, minor is not able to decide rationally. So anything you have sold, you have purchased from or with to minor is not legal. આવશે આગળ ડિટેલમાં. Then voidable contract. Voidable contract is voidable at the option of some of the party. Suppose मैं Amazon ઉપર થી કંઈક ઓર્ડર કર્યું, ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ મેં ઇયરબડ્સ મંગાયા, એમાં અલગ અલગ મોડેલ આવતા હશે, તો મેં મોડેલ સિલેક્ટ કર્યું, બધું પેમેન્ટ બી થઈ ગયું, અથવા મેં COD નો ઓપ્શન રાખ્યો. પેલા ડિલિવરી કરી, મેં જોયું પેકેટ તો હતા એ કંપનીના પણ કદાચ બીજું મોડેલ હતું, પ્રાઇસ બી સેમ છે. નાઉ ઇટ્સ અપ ટુ મી whether I am accepting it or I am returning it, because it was a genuine mistake. So either I can accept, either I can reject. If I will accept it, it will become valid contract. But if I won't, then it will become voidable contract. It will be cancelled. So that is called voidable contract. So any agreement which is enforceable by law at the time or at the option of one or two parties, but not at the option of others, then it is voidable contract. Then unenforceable contract, a contract which is actually valid but cannot be enforced due to some technical defect. Such contract is not legal or enforceable unless and until that technical defect has been removed. See, like an oral agreement is an unenforceable because the law requires that agreement must be in writing. Orally મેં કઈ બી કીધું હોય તો એનાથી શું? મેં orally એમ કીધું કે મારો મોબાઈલ હું તમને 5000 રૂપિયામાં આપી દઈશ, હું કાલ ઉઠીને ના આપું તો તમારી પાસે શું પ્રૂફ છે કે મેં તમને કીધું હતું? Unless and until I have given you in writing, it is not enforceable. So it has to be in writing. So certain contract need to be legally applicable. Till then they are unenforceable. Then illegal contract, the contract which are out of the law. Which are illegal activity. Like contract entered to purchase and sell liquor in Gujarat. Selling and purchasing liquor in Gujarat is illegal activity. To ask for extortion money, to be engaged in drug trafficking, human trafficking, all these are illegal activity. So even though we have contracted on paper, they are not contract, they are illegal contract. પછી એનાથી કોઈ ક્રિમિનલ એક્ટિવિટી થાય છે, ક્રિમિનલ પનિશમેન્ટ મળે છે, that is not subject matter of Indian Contract Act. It will be Indian Penal Code. That is totally different thing. But under Indian Contract Act, such contracts are illegal. Now, essential elements of a valid contract. Most important question. તમારા એક્ઝામમાં આવશે 100%. Which are the essential elements of a valid contract? કોઈ બી contract valid થવા માટે which factors are necessary? You can say it's components, ingredients, constituents. So first is offer and acceptance, or you can say proposal and acceptance. There has to be certain offer. I must offer something and you are accepting something. One party must offer and the other will accept it. If I haven't offered anything, then what will you accept? If I offered but you have not accepted, then how it can be proceeded further? So the offer and acceptance is important. Sometimes it may happen that this offer may be implied. Like I give you an example. Okay, when I will travel by train or bus, generally in the bus, the conductor will ask ticket. But even if the conductor does not ask, I cannot say okay, he did not offer me to buy a ticket. It is implied offer. I have to buy. And when I am accepting a ride, I am giving my consent to buy a ticket. Suppose હું કોઈ દુકાન ખોલી બેઠો છું, તો it is implied offer to general public કે હું વેચવા જ બેઠો છું. પછી કોઈ એમ થોડી કે તમે તો મને ક્યાં રસ્તામાં ઉભો રાખીને પૂછ્યું કે તમારે લેવું છે? આટલી મોટી દુકાન તો ખોલીને બેઠો છું, બોર્ડ માર્યું છે. તો it is implied offer. બરાબર? So the offer may be implied or express. Sometimes you have to make express offer કે હા ભાઈ મારે વેચવું છે, તમારે લેવું છે? So it has to be valid. Valid means legal. Illegal ના ચાલે. Illegal offer એટલે હું કદાચ તીર્થયાને એમ કહું કે આ નીલિયાને મારી નાખું તને પૈસા આપીશ 10,000. So I am offering him to execute you, which is totally illegal. Even if he is accepted it, it is not a valid offer and valid acceptance. So proposal and acceptance, offer and acceptance, it has to be valid, legal. Then intention to create legal relationship. Here your intention, your purpose, your objective is to enter into any type of legal relationship. It is not social relationship. For example, you have invited me, for example, for dinner. Then you are not supposed to ask me for the money. Chalo sir, pati you khao, lao paisa lo. Because it was out of social relation, personal relation. Then I can say, okay, you didn't ask me earlier for money. I thought you have invited me out of gratitude, out of love, out of respect. But if I have gone to a restaurant, બરાબર, પછી હું એમ કહું કે પૈસા થોડી હોય ખાવાના, તમે ક્યાં કીધું તું ખાવાના પૈસા થશે? બરાબર, એમાં તો ખાવાના પૈસા થાય જ નહીં, ધંધો લઈને બેઠો છે, મફત થોડી આપવાનો છે. So intention is to create legal relationship, not any social or personal relationship. So whenever you are offering something, whenever you are proposing something, when you are offering something to sell, to do or to not to do something, the intention has to be create legal relationship. Two parties are entering into legal relationship. Okay, I am selling, then you are buying. Then consensus and idiom, as I told you, the same thing in the same sense. Then lawful consideration. Consideration means something in return. Okay, free now, there are no free lunches in this world. If I am giving you something, then you are also giving me something. It need not to be in the cash, it may be in kind. Goods against goods, goods against service, service against goods, goods against cash, service against cash, whatever it may be. It has to be lawful consideration. Consideration means something in return. આના બદલામાં કઈ જેટલા બી એલિમેન્ટ છે ને આખા દરેકના અલગ અલગ ચેપ્ટર જ છે. These consideration has to be lawful. જરૂરી નથી કે આટલી જ હોવી જોઈએ. કદાચ એવું બને કે મારો 50,000 નો મોબાઈલ હું તમને 5,000 માં આપી દઉં, 5 રૂપિયામાં બી આપી દઉં. That doesn't matter. How much is not important, but it has to be lawful. But ભાઈ તમે એમ કહો કે તમે મોબાઈલ આપો, અમે તમને એના બદલામાં એક બોટલ આપી દઈશું દારૂની. So that is not legal, because selling and purchasing liquor is illegal in Gujarat. So the consideration has to be lawful, legal. Doesn't matter how much it is. It may be full, it may be part, it may be very less, it may be very high, but it has to be something in return. હું કઈ ફ્રીમાં આપું, then it is not a contract. But if I will charge something, doesn't matter how it is, how much it is, then it will become lawful consideration. Then capacities of parties, capacity to contract. The person who are entering into contract must be legally capable to make contract. That is called capacity to contract. All persons, every person is competent to contract except minor, person of unsound mind, person disqualified from entering into contract. એટલે જે minor હોય, ગાંડો હોય, બરાબર, disqualified, બરાબર, કદાચ કોઈ પીધેલો હોય, who is under the effect of drug or liquor, who is not in a proper state of mind, who is subject to another crime, conviction, depends. Then such person cannot make a legal contract, valid contract. Except all these are capable of making contract. Then free consent. Consent matlab manjuri. The consent has to be free. બરાબર, હું કોકને ગન પોઈન્ટ ઉપર એમ કહું કે તારે મકાન વેચવું જ પડશે, પેલો બિચારો હા પાડે, તો that consent is not free. The consent is said to be free when it is not caused by coercion. Coercion એટલે ધમકી, undue influence એટલે હું કોઈ લાગવગ લગાવું, કંઈક ફોર્સ કરાવડાવું, એને બ્લેકમેલ કરું, કઈ બી ફ્રોડ, ચીટિંગ, મિસરિપ્રેઝન્ટેશન, હું કંઈક ખોટી રીતના કંઈક પ્રેઝન્ટ કરું, where intention is to deceive the other person, હું બતાવું કંઈક આપું કંઈક, or mistake. Mistake is genuine error. So આ બધું હોય તો the consent is not free, so it is not legal. Consent or permission of other party acceptor has to be free, and it is said to be free when it is not caused by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation or mistake. Then legality of object, that is called lawful object. The object, the purpose of contract has to be legal. Here the intention is to do legal activity. Like I want to lease certain office so that I can run some business which is illegal. I want to use it for storing drugs, brown sugar, cocaine. So object here itself is illegal because I am leasing out the particular office or flat for the purpose of doing illegal activity. So the object, intention, purpose has to be legal. Then possibility of performance. The agreement must be possible to perform. Any agreement which are impossible to perform are invalid, void ab initio. જેમાં possible જ નથી, બરાબર, હું તીર્થિયાને એમ કહું કે હું તને 1 લાખ રૂપિયા આપીશ, બરાબર, જો તું મને દિવસે તારા દેખાડે તો, એટલે practically, practically it is not possible to see the star on the day. Impossible event. So it has to be possible to perform. Any agreement to do impossible act is void ab initio. Then certainty of meaning. It has to be clear regarding all the detail, like what I want to sell, at what price. So the terms of contract must be clear. Agreements, the meaning of which is not certain or capable of being made certain are void. મારી પાસે 4-5 મોબાઈલ હોય, હું કહું મારે 5000 માં વેચો, હું કંઈક બીજો કહો સમજ્યો, તમે કંઈક બીજા સમજ્યા હોય, પાછળથી કંઈક ઊંધું થાય. So the meaning of contract was not clear. It has to be clear, it has to be to the point, precise. Then agreement not expressly declared void. Whatever contract which will become valid, it should not be expressly declared void agreement. Certain agreements are expressly declared void even though we have entered into, like agreement in restraint of trade, agreement in restraint of marriage, agreement in restraint of legal proceeding. જેમ કે મેં કોઈ જોડે કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ કર્યો કે તારા મારા જેવા કોઈ લગ્ન નહીં કરવાનો, તો કદાચ આ પાડી પણ પછી પાછળથી બીજે પરણી ગઈ તો હું કઈ ના કરી શકું, because such agreements are not valid. Even though agreement કર્યું બી હોય તો બી ના ચાલે, કારણ કે તેની પર્સનલ ચોઇસ છે. agreement in restraint of trade, બરાબર, કે મેં તીર્થને એમ કીધું તારે આ બિઝનેસ નહીં કરવાનો કારણ કે હું કરું, તો તીર્થ કે સારું, પણ કાલ ઉઠીને મારી બાજુમાં જ દુકાન ખોલ દે તો કઈ ના થાય એમાં. even though we have entered into agreement, agreement in restraint of legal proceeding, મેં નીલિયાજો લખાઈ દીધું કે હું કાલ એને ટીચીશ ને તો બી મારા પર કેસ નહીં કરે, તો એને ટીચ્યો અને એને કેસ કર્યો તો the case is valid even though he has given in writing, કારણ કે ચાલે જ નહીં, એવો કોઈ એગ્રીમેન્ટ થાય જ નહીં કે હું ગમે તે કરું તારે મારી અગેન્સ્ટ કઈ નહીં કરવાનું. It's not possible. So agreement which are not expressly declared void. Then writing in registration, legal formalities, it has to be in writing on a stamp paper. Both the parties to the contract must have signed it, stamped it. Sometimes it has to be registered, like rent agreement हो तो तुम्हारे notarize करावो पड़े, registered करावो पड़े. बराबर, पड़ी खबर?
Yes, sir.
हाँ सर.
Very good. પણ એ તો આવાજ ધીમો જાય ડફોડ, તું અહીંયા બેઠો છે. હવે જો difference between void agreement तो मैं समझाई दीधो. हाँ, difference between void agreement and voidable contract. Void agreement means void contract which are void ab initio, void or cancelled, invalid from the very beginning, પહેલેથી જ રદ બાતલ છે, because they are illegal or they are not possible to be performed. Now voidable contracts means which can be valid at the option of the aggrieved party or he may cancel the contract. मैं તમને પેલું એક્ઝામ્પલ આપ્યું એમ કે ભૂલથી કોઈક વસ્તુ બીજી આવી ગઈ. Now it's up to me whether I want to continue with it. If I am accepting it, then later on I cannot deny it કે મેં ક્યાં કીધું હતું. So it's up to me whether it is voidable, whether I will continue with the same or whether I don't want to continue. In void agreement or void contract, enforceability of law is not there. They cannot be enforceable by law because they are not legal. While in the voidable contract, the consent of party is not free. If that consent will become free, then that voidable contract will become a valid contract. And if the consent cannot be free, it will become invalid contract. Void agreement cannot be enforced by any party, while voidable agreement can be enforceable by the aggrieved party. Aggrieved party એટલે જેને નુકસાન થાય. જેમ કે મેં Amazon કે Flipkart પરથી કઈ વસ્તુ મંગાઈ ખોટી આવી ગઈ તો I am the aggrieved party. Because એ લોકોએ ખોટું મોકલે એમની ભૂલ છે. So whether I want to continue with it or not, that's up to me. So it's in my power whether to validate the contract or repudiate the contract. Accept करूं कि reject करूं मारा हाथ में. But if I am accepting, then it will become valid contract. Right of third party. In void agreement, third party does not have any right. કારણ કે કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ જ વેલિડ નથી તો કોઈ બી પાર્ટીનો કોઈ રાઈટ ના હોય. But in voidable contract, a third party who has acted in good faith will acquire good title. સમજો, acted in good faith. મેં મારો મોબાઈલ નીલને બતાવ્યો કે આ 5000 રૂપિયા વેચવાનો. નીલે કીધું સારું, વર્ષ અઠવાડિયા પછી લઈ લઈશ. બરાબર, એને મને અત્યારે 2,500 રૂપિયા આપી દે કે સર બાકીના 2,500 અઠવાડિયા પછી આપીશ, ફોન આપી દેજો. એ પહેલા તીર્થિયાને મેં એ જ મોબાઈલ 6,000 માં ભટકાડી દીધો. મેં ઓલરેડી નીલ જોડે એગ્રીમેન્ટ કરી દીધેલું છે, કદાચ રાઇટિંગમાં બી હતું. અને એક ફોન મેં તીર્થિયાને બી આપી દીધો. પણ તીર્થિયાને તો ખબર જ નથી કે આ ફોન તો સર ખરેખર નીલને વેચી દીધો છે. તો he has acted on good faith. તો હવે હું એમ કહું લાય ચાલ મોબાઈલ પાછો મારતો આને આપવાનો છે, તો એ ના પાડે કે ના, તમે તો મને વેચી દીધો છે, કાં તો મારા પૈસા પાછા આપો કાં તો મને મોબાઈલ આપો. તમારા વચ્ચેની મેટર જેમાં મારે શું? So it's like that. હું કાં તો એને મોબાઈલ આપવો પડે અને નીલને પૈસા પાછા આપવા પડે. અધરવાઇઝ નીલ જોડે કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ કરવો હોય તો મારે તીર્થને પૈસા પાછા આપવા પડે. એક જ મોબાઈલ અને બે જણ જોડે પૈસા લેવું થોડી થાય, નોટ પોસિબલ. Then damages. In void agreement, damage, નુકસાન, લોસ જવાનો કોઈ પોસિબિલિટી જ નથી, કારણ કે કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ જ નથી થતો. Voidable agreement માં the aggrieved party can claim damages. કે મેં કંઈક મંગાવ્યું હતું, ડિફેક્ટિવ આવી ગયું, ખોટું આવી ગયું અને એનાથી મારું કામ અટક્યું કે ડિલે થયું, મને કંઈ નુકસાન થયું કે મને મેન્ટલ હેરેસમેન્ટ થયું, તો એના માટે હું એ લોકો પર કેસ કરી શકું કે ભાઈ આપણે આવું કર્યું, એના હિસાબે મને જે માનસિક તકલીફ પડી કે મને કંઈક પ્રોબ્લેમ થયો, એના બેસિસ મારું કામ ના થયું, તો they have to compensate me. So I can sue aggrieved party એટલે જેને નુકસાન થયું. So aggrieved party can sue, can claim damages. I have to record that,